Hi everyone, remember me? So last week I went to West Virginia and did sort of a different type of vlog entry than I've done in the past, but today we're getting back to my roots. So over the next about 2.5 weeks, I'll be going to the Baltic states of Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and spending a little bit of time in Helsinki. Unlike some of my past videos, I'm going to try to get more into the history of these countries, the history of the places I see, and then also, I don't know, maybe try to have more of a narrative journey for myself. I don't know if I'm going to find myself in the Baltic states, but just something to try to structure this a little more than it has been in the past. Of course, I will probably fail in that goal, but you never know. After I return from Europe, I will not be heading back to Columbus, where I am now, but instead to Austin, Texas, to see the Formula One US Grand Prix. So hopefully I record some footage there. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to, so it will hinge at least partially on that. But as of right now, starting my journey, as I so often do, in Port Columbus, well, I guess John Glenn International Airport, as it's called now. So yeah, should be some good stuff coming in the next couple weeks. I'm recording this in October. I won't unfortunately be posting it until at least November, but hopefully there will be some good content. Looking forward to it. Alright, so for the New York leg of this trip, I'll be staying at the TWA Hotel, which is a hotel made out of the husk of Terminal 5, TWA's terminal at JFK Airport. So it's been reconfigured into a hotel, and it's pretty much any aviation fan's dream. You can see they still have the old boards. Check-in's over there. So this is all super futuristic architecture, and ironically, considering my first stop will be in Finland, it was designed by a Finnish designer, Eero Saarinen. My apologies if I mispronounced that. My Finnish is not great. Out there's a wedding celebration going on. And there are a number of different restaurants and things of that ilk around. Looks like a bar up there. But yeah, it's pretty unbelievable as a concept. They executed it very well. Okay, so a quick room tour of the TWA Hotel room. It's a single room. Look to your right, you got a pretty nice looking bar. Closet. Oops, I think. Nope, never mind. Just a place to hang, not a full closet. Got the bathroom. Of course, mirror, toilet, sink, everything you could want there. Then the actual bedroom. So my view is probably not as pretty as some of them. I do get to see at least the tail fins of some airplanes, but nothing too crazy. The bed is ginormous though. It's got some nice old school artwork here. So obviously the theme is retro. They're really trying to keep that 1960s vibe going. So a really cool thing about this hotel, aside from all the obvious things, is its unprecedented access to JFK. So there are airport hotels that are pretty close by, but this one, if you're taking JetBlue, you can literally just hop on this elevator and you're immediately in their terminal. Now, of course, I will not be flying JetBlue, so I'll have to take a little bus, but still pretty good. And it has a bunch of installations like this around. So this is supposed to be Howard Hughes' office. So he was, of course, the president of TWA during their rapid expansion in the 1930s and 40s. So pretty fun little installation. They have a couple of these scattered around the hotel. This is another example of one of the TWA Hotel's exhibitions. So this is supposed to be Eero Saarinen's office, I guess. And you can see here's the tube that runs you back to the main part of the terminal. And then over here, we have, I'm actually not sure which one this is. Let's see. Oh, this is a classic living room from the 60s, I guess. I'll have to ask my parents if this is really what it looked like. You really almost do feel like you're back in the 1960s about to take a TWA flight, and to that point they even have a former TWA airliner out there on which you can get drinks. Hopefully I'll be able to later. Right now, if you can see, there's a wedding going on outside, so the plane is closed. But it is funny, the 1960s conception of what the future would look like, because obviously buildings don't look like this today, but people really did think we were heading in a more futuristic direction. So there was a food hall with a couple of different options. I decided to go with the crepe and the coffee, and I gotta say, pretty good. And you get a nice view out into the central rotunda from right here, so no complaints. So I wanted to come out here just to give a bigger picture of the facade of the building. So there it is. Right down the center is the main entrance, and it's also that main part of the terminal I was showing earlier. And off to either side, that side is a cafe, and that side is just an exhibition. So you can see it's pretty centrally located. Over here's a parking garage for JFK, so you're really right in it, which is pretty unique. Over here, there's a roller rink that is not currently open. And there is the back of the terminal. And the airplane on which I hope to go have a drink, but there's still a wedding going on, so I have to try to stay out of the way of that. Earlier? Yeah, earlier. This is pretty cool, 1960s turboprop plane. I'm about to check out of the TWA Hotel, but before I do, I wanted to give my final thoughts on the whole experience. So in terms of whether it's worth it to stay here, I think that largely comes down to you, which I get is kind of a lazy thing to say, but let me explain. For someone who loves aviation and aviation history, I think this is definitely a place you should at least visit, if not stay. Because there is something about, you know, having a drink in the foyer of the TWA terminal that just really feels like you're taking part in history. So on that level, I think it's absolutely worth it. The other type of person who might like this hotel is someone who has an early morning flight from JFK, because in terms of access to the airport, I cannot think of a better hotel. You can literally take an elevator and you're already at the JetBlue terminal. You can very easily get to the air train, which is what I'm about to take to go downtown. So for that person, this place is probably the ideal location. Now, a couple things I didn't love. One, to actually go to the plane observation deck, which is where the pool is on the top floor, you have to pay $50 even if you're a hotel guest, which I think my room is the cheapest room and it was about $350 already. So an extra $50 on top of that just seems a bit ridiculous. And the other thing I didn't love is just how expensive everything was within the hotel. Now I understand this is New York, I'm from Ohio, so it might just be New York prices. But yeah, if you're paying whatever $15 for a crepe, it just seems a little steep. I get the whole captive audience thing. You're not very close to anything right here, so there is that, but whatever. And the final thing is, if your only reason for coming to New York is to go downtown, we're pretty far from downtown right now. So I'm about to hop on a train, and that's gonna be the start of my next video. But it's gonna take me about, I don't know, an hour and 15 minutes to get there. So it's something to keep in mind, but overall, I'm pretty happy with my stay. I personally love aviation, so this was sort of a dream come true. But yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video.